From all of us here at Queen's Rowing,
Queen's Hockey Club,
Queen's University Football Club,
the GAA clubs here at Queen's,
at Queen's University RFC.
Unfortunately, at the minute, the coronavirus pandemic has caused a halt to our season.
I'd like to extend a big thank you to our sponsors for their continued support throughout the year.
with your continued support, we'll keep improving on both a student and international level.
It was our first season in the Championship this year and we exceeded all expectations placed upon us. From holding our own in the league week in, week out to our unbelievable Irish Cup run where we knocked out Linfield.
We are all so grateful to have received your support, which has allowed us to maintain a great standard of hockey across our 7 teams here at Upper Malone.
Your sponsorship is extremely valuable and helps us unlock our full potential on and off the pitch.
With your help, our athletes have been able to train hard, eat well, keep well.
And we can't wait to get back out there next year.
But we'll come back bigger and better with your help. Thanks.
Thank you.
So thanks.
So thank you.
Thank you very much for your help and support.
Can one person really make a difference?
Sounds tough.
How about the two of us?
Sometimes to make a big difference, you just need to do things a bit differently.
Like choosing bottles made from 100% recycled material.
And then recycling them. So everything goes full circle.
So the next time someone asks, how can I make a difference? Easy. Deep River Rock. Made to make a difference.
Hello and welcome to the 2020 Deep River Rock Blues Awards, the time each year when Queen's University acknowledges the endeavour and achievement of its sportsmen and women in the previous 12 months. My name is Hugh Campbell. I'm going to be your host for the event. Let's begin by taking a look at some of the highlights from the past year. Well, what a year it has been. There are so many stories. In women's rugby, Diane Ramsey and Shannon Bull are getting their first Ulster caps. Fiona Bell goes to World Cup 3 in rowing, and in the same boat as her is Rebecca Edwards, a former Queen's elite athlete. Miles Taylor and Ram Ballantyne, for the second summer in succession, come back from a rowing world championship with medals, and Hugh Moore, Ross Corrigan and Nathan Hull all in international crews. Ciara Mullen gets to the A finals in women's handball. That's the first time a Queen's athlete has got to that standard in over 20 years. Women's netball, champions of Ireland. The resurgent form in the All-Ireland League of men's rugby. Shoots of recovery in Sigerson football. Tori Hastings in her 5th year as an elite athlete is part of the imperious women's first 11 hockey team, champions of Ulster for the first time. What about old Thundersize Harvey Barnes on the track, our first ever track cycling sprint medalist at a British University Championship? And then there are the hidden stories in Queen's sport, the hidden heroes. People like Una Short, who's the driving force behind the park runs on a Saturday morning, and Fiona Hamilton, who is the inspiration behind the campus runs that occur every Wednesday. And congratulations and thank you to all of you for the pleasure, excitement, achievement and effort you've put into the last year. As you know, the academic and sporting years have their own rhythms, wins and losses, short-term targets and big dreams. And now, to get the River Rock 2020 Blues Awards off to a formal start, I would like to introduce to you the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Ian Greer.
Thank you for joining us, albeit virtually, to celebrate this sporting season at Queen's, a season unique and limited by the impact of COVID-19. During these challenging times, sport provides so many inspirational stories of hope and of overcoming the odds. We need only think of Queen's football team's victory over Linfield in the Irish Cup, or the Queen's ladies hockey team, who were recently named champions of Ulster hockey, a first in our history. Just 12 months ago, we unveiled our new game plan for sport, which included a vibrant culture of excellence that would positively impact the lives of students, staff and the wider community. 1 year on, we now find ourselves in the midst of this global pandemic, but our vision has not diminished. I'm immensely proud of the work Queen's Sport has done in encouraging and supporting the wider community to remain active and engaged during this time. I would like to pay tribute to the efforts and innovation of Head of Queen's Sport, Liz McLaughlin, and her team for all their hard work over the past few months. It really is appreciated. Queen's has invested significantly in sporting facilities, staff and infrastructure in recent years. Most recently, the Boathouse on Stranmillis, outdoor facilities at Upper Malone, and our new city centre gym. We're committed to reviewing our indoor facility at the PEC to ensure that our sporting facilities meet the needs of our community. Our motivation is to ensure that our students have the very best opportunities to come together, participate in a variety of sports, and excel on the pitch, on the court, or in the water. We're proud of all of our students who are playing a key role in the fight against coronavirus, in particular our medical, nursing, and social work graduates and volunteers. We're acutely aware that our sports clubs have made an invaluable contribution to the personal and professional development of these students. The nature of this pandemic perhaps highlights the importance of physical activity and health and well-being. While I know you will all continue to play your part through social distancing, you can still look forward to all sports and competition returning and dream of what will be possible in the future. I would like to thank and acknowledge the contribution that the wider community plays in supporting sporting activity at Queen's. Our wonderful alumni groups, who support students in so many ways, including coaching and mentoring, and to the many businesses who invest in our students and clubs through generous sponsorship and support. We're living in a changing world, but I'm very confident that we will emerge stronger than ever from this time of global crisis, demonstrating the resilience, ambition and community spirit that has always characterised our sporting community here at Queen's. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Now more than ever, we understand how sport connects us to each other and the whole community. And for those of you who play sport at Queen's, I'm sure that the people you train and compete alongside in that context are your brothers and your sisters. And that when you wear a Queen's jersey or pull on a Queen's vest, that you are connected to something much bigger than yourself. Now, as far as the rest of this event goes, I will be your guide. I won't be as dynamic as a Ronan Young free kick. I'll probably be more like a signpost in a bog road somewhere, but I will point you in the right direction. At the heart of tonight's event are 4 awards: the Team of the Year, the Coach of the Year, Special Contribution to Sports Award, and the Individual Achievement of the Year Award. Each category has 3 nominees, but only 1 winner, and members of the Queen's Sport family will announce the nominees and the winner. And by the magic of Conor Caldwell's editing in this special digital event of the River Rock Blues Awards, you will get to hear from each winner as well. Preceding the first of the awards, we will hear from 2 people. In a moment, our guest speaker, who will be followed by Professor Donald Burden, the chair of the Blues Committee. But first, our guest speaker. And if you've been watching the trailer all week, you will know that Mr. Gary Keegan has been immersed in high performance sport in Ireland for many years. For example, he's currently involved with Leinster Rugby and the Dublin men's football team, 2 sporting dynasties. His talk will last 10 minutes, and we encourage you now to lean in and listen to some of the messages he has, whether they are relevant to you as a sportsman or woman, or that you see them as applicable to other performance areas in your own life. So with great pleasure, I welcome this year's guest speaker, Mr. Gary Keegan.
So we're going to focus on harnessing your champion mindset, with the key word being harnessing. Harnessing requires, I guess, for us to be active, for us to be navigating, and for us to be adjusting, especially around our thinking and our behaviours. And I said, if we're in that space and we're providing some order for our mind will help us to achieve the things we want to achieve daily, weekly, and whatever those big goals are, it'll also help us to drive us towards those. 3 areas we're going to discuss this evening are, I guess, adversity and how it impacts on our choices, our behaviours and habits, so what we do day to day, and our motivation. And ultimately, motivation is the big ticket item this evening, because you will have ebbed and flowed in that space over the last 8 weeks, I'm sure. So before I do that, I'll give you a little insight into, I guess, the people that I've worked with in my career. And this is just a little bit of flavour around these athletes, players and teams. And you'll see some keywords represented in this video, and they're as relevant in this crisis and in this period as they are in the period you've just come from and the period you're going to just head back into. So keep an eye on some of these keywords. They'll be relevant to you, I'm absolutely certain. And you need to be thinking about bringing those words back into your actions, your thinking, and your behaviours in the coming days and weeks. So have a look. So a lot to I guess take in there. A very short video just gives you a sense of the work that I do and the organizations that I've worked with. So while my coaching career started off in boxing, I ended up getting an opportunity to work with many different organizations, sports, players, coaches and leaders. And I'm going to share a little bit today around, I guess, managing through this crisis. And what adversity means to us. So I'm kicking off with this term adversity, and why I think it provides a real opportunity for learning and growth. I think when we accept that we're vulnerable, when we trust ourselves to be open to that vulnerability, there's a real opportunity for us to learn a bit about ourselves. But it depends on your perspective. So your perspective is always the lens at which you view things and the lens at which you respond to things. So if your lens is positive, that this is an opportunity, I get to see a little bit more about myself and get to know a little bit more about how I tick and how I respond. And there might be some lessons here and some opportunities for me to grow over this period. Well, then you're embracing the adversity. If you're worried about the future, if you're upset about what you've missed in the past and what you've left behind, well, then the adversity is going to be difficult for you, and it might act as a prison in terms of your perspective. So we can always shift our perspective, especially when we become aware that our perspective is not positive and it's not going to help us. We can get an opportunity to shift it quite quickly. So once you recognize it, see where you sit with regard to what I've just described, and look to adjust on that basis. Behaviors have always defined your success. I'm pretty certain of that. When you look back at your behaviors and habits, your routines and rituals, the backing of yourself, the non-backing of yourself, your beliefs and your limiting beliefs, ultimately those things make up our success. So it's important to recognize that behaviors become your performance. They are what you see, they are what your opposition see, they are what your teammates see also. So focus on behaviors that are going to assist you to move and progress forward. Have a standard for yourself and try and live by that. In a crisis like what we're experiencing now, where we're isolated, we're taken away from the group, we need to be fine-tuning on a more regular basis. So you might find yourself in this amber zone where you're struggling with your purpose, struggling with your motivation, getting yourself into the future and struggling to be present and focused on what you need to do now. That's natural and normal. But actually what's expected from you is to be a little bit extraordinary. So you need to be looking at this and trying to move away from it when it happens to you. When you find yourself drifting, when you find yourself using excuses, it's time for you to actually take some responsibility and ownership. So you're more self-accountable now than you've ever been in your career. And you need to stay on top of how you self-manage and self-organize. If you're in a good place, you're moving towards this purple patch. You're trying to sustain momentum around that. And it might be, and I'm only going to focus on 3 things here, that you have a clear expectation for yourself. So go back to your expectation. What do I expect of myself? What do I want to become? And what do I want to achieve? There are 3 great questions to ask. And as long as you're true to those and you're emotionally invested in them, you have a chance of doing the right things. Know that the now is yours to own. When you're performing at your best, you're maximizing the moments in the game, you're maximizing the moments in the race, or whatever it is that you are competing in. So you're literally taking it one stroke, one punch, one pass, one kick at a time. And as soon as that moment has been completed, you drop it and let it go. Irrespective of whether it was negative or positive, you let it go and you move to the next moment. And that's what you need to be doing in this situation. You need to be literally taking it one day at a time and to be focused on developing what I'm now going to focus on, which is my 3rd point, your success list. Literally every day have a success list. Have it your 4 or 5 activities that you're focused on, whether that's your physical side, your technical skill side, or looking at the tactical end of your performance, or looking at your mental game. Whatever it is, you're building your 4 or 5 activities that are focused on those things, and you're not comparing them with what you would have done had you been on a pitch or in a field or in a boxing gym or in a rowing boat. You're comparing them with what you're doing today, and you're giving them the value that they have. Remember, the field is pretty level. A lot of your opponents out there are operating under similar conditions. So this gives you an opportunity to get an edge and take an advantage over this period of time. 8 weeks are now gone roughly, and whatever that 8 weeks were, you'll have a platform, and some things you will have left behind. Leave them behind. They're gone. Focus on the now and look at what you can do today, tomorrow and the next day to continue to ensure that you're more ready when you step back into this arena. Very quickly, you know this term, it's control the controllables. I want you to focus on releasing the things that you can't affect. Release the things that you can't control. And you might need to do that on a daily basis. And you might need to force yourself and redirect yourself into the things that you can control. And when you write that list, it's going to be a pretty big list, but I want you to focus on the things that you believe to be most important. Trust yourself. You are adaptive, right? And choose things that excite you. Choose things that you genuinely feel will make the difference when you step back into the arena. So that's a really important thing. Don't have these terms as blasé terms. Lift the bonnet on them, get underneath them, get curious about them, and these things can really help you. The other piece is lots of people plan their plan, but I want you to plan your execution. Plato says that all human behavior is derived from three main sources. Source number one is desire, your intention, your dream for yourself, your expectation of yourself. So desire is really important. Keep your desire front and center. The second main source is emotion. So that's your buy-in, that's your level of commitment, that's a level of your emotional connection to what it is you're trying to achieve in your career. And that's really, really important. If you have those two things locked in, the next thing is very easy. And the third main source is knowledge, your desire and your hunger for new knowledge, new skills, new learning. But you need your desire and you need your emotional connection to that to be fully connected to go after the right things and do what you need to do. So execute your plan. Think about your execution. Look at what you want to do in the day. Look at what first thing in the morning, what's it going to look like? Is it a 10-minute meditation? Is it then a short burst of exercise? Just something I enjoy doing. Then it's a shower. Then it's my breakfast, and that's nutrition. I'm putting the right type of foods in. So in many ways, even your meal plan is an exciting thing to do because you're saying these are the things that are going to keep me healthy and I feel I'm still looking after my body in the right way. Maybe it's your well-being and you're saying I need to get to a walk, I need to take my dog, it's down along the river, it's out for a short swim on the beach, whatever it is. You're building in the things that are helping to keep you in the game and helping to keep your body healthy and your mind healthy. And once you're in that space, that's where you get your focus from. You get your focus from conscious activity and deciding what it is you need to do, as opposed to getting into that excuse space, thinking that, oh, I wish this wasn't happening to me. You won't be motivated every day and you won't be confident every day, but you can be disciplined every day. And that's a muscle you get a chance to exercise. And I just want to leave you with one thing. If I was to put you into an environment to build mental resilience, to build mental toughness, and to build your adaptive capability, which is massive for us, I couldn't have put you into a better simulator. And this is not a simulator, this is reality. So you're facing that. So be excited about the fact that you get to build your adaptive muscle, but you've got to work on it. So when you need to turn left, you turn left. When you need to turn right, you need to turn right. When you need to step forward, you need to step forward. So you need to navigate through these obstacles. And that's where the growth is. So the obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is not this crisis. This crisis is the opportunity, and you just need to figure out how you're going to navigate your way through it. And you need to continue to back yourself. You need to have that sense of belief in yourself. So I'm leaving you with just a couple of points to finish. Have priorities. So when you set out your 4 or 5 activities for the day, maybe focus on one that's going to be a big priority. That's a big ticket item today. I'm really going to go after that. And the other thing is knowing that this will end. It's temporary. It's not going to go on forever. So you need to see that end in mind. You need to see, what does readiness look like for me? What does new growth and new learning look like for me? When I go over this ridge, I'm going to be ready. When I hit that checkered flag, I'm going to be ready to pass it. Now, I know the road, there are a few broken planks here. The wind is going to make this bridge very unstable, etc., in terms of the forces that are impacting upon me, but I'm going to make the right steps, one step at a time. I'm going to make one choice at a time, and I'm going to follow through on that in terms of executing. Just some key messages that you will think about. Let your everyday habits be dictated by your end in mind, by your expectation of yourself, by the standard you uphold yourself to. Create this reality with every choice you make. So, and remember that time is limited. You have 168 hours a week. All your competitors have the same. So use your time well. Invest it in the things that you believe will make an impact and will move you forward. And know that your choices are finite. You don't get lots and lots of choices. You just get a number of choices between now and the time you go over that ridge. So you use those choices well for yourself and do the best to ensure that you can get over the line. Everybody will suffer with that motivation piece, but that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Your discipline is to step into what you need to do and make the best of what you have, and don't compare it to what you used to have or what you should have. Just make the best of what you have. Check in with your coaches, check in with your support staff, check in with your players, your peers, not just the ones that you're friendly with, but the ones that you need to build a relationship with. Tell yourself you're going to leave a legacy. You're going to leave a legacy every day, so that when you go over that ridge, you're going to have a lot more in your toolbox at the end. So that's me. Enjoy your evening. Have a great time this evening. I know you're just sitting at home, potentially with a beer in your hand, but it is a time to just reflect on your achievements, all your hard work and your commitment. And I hope the weeks and months ahead are successful for you, and you have a really great career or careers into the future. Take care and goodbye.
Hello, my name is Donald Burden and I chair the University Blues Awards Committee. I hope that you and your families are all keeping well and that you will enjoy this alternative to our usual awards ceremony. Up to the point where the COVID-19 pandemic stopped all normal sporting activity, we were on course to having one of the most successful years for sport at Queen's University. I would like to commend the student athletes and coaches who have continued to train and pursue their goals in this current vacuum. Unfortunately, this unexpected interruption to the sporting calendar severely limited the opportunities for our sportsmen and sportswomen to achieve the normal success and recognition at local, national and international levels. This has created a dilemma for the Blues Awards Committee, as we normally use these achievements to decide who should receive a University Blue Award. After very careful consideration, the Blues Awards Committee have reluctantly decided that due to the lack of opportunity for many of our sportsmen and sportswomen, it would not be fair or appropriate to award individual Blues Awards this year. However, we did decide that there was sufficient information available to us to allow us to make the following 4 awards. The Team Achievement Award. This award recognises outstanding sporting success by a Queen's team over the past year. The Coach of the Year Award. This award recognises an outstanding contribution to coaching at Queen's University. The Special Contribution to Queen's Sport Award. This is awarded for exceptional service to student sport at Queen's University. And finally, the Individual Achievement Award. This award recognises outstanding success achieved by a Queen's sportswoman or sportsman. This year, all the nominees for the above 4 awards were of an exceptionally high standard, and I would like to thank all the members of the Blues Awards Committee for all their hard work in deciding who should receive these awards. Finally, I would like to congratulate all the nominees. Thank you.
I'm delighted to be able to introduce the first award, the Deep River Rock Team of the Year. And can I say how I am so proud that the team in Queen's Sport have been able to, under the current circumstances, pull everything together to make this possible. So for the Deep River Rock Team of the Year, the shortlisted nominees are Queen's Netball Team, Queen's Soccer Men's First 11, and the Queen's Ladies Hockey First Team. And recognised as the Queen's Sports Team of the Year is Queen's Ladies Hockey Team. Congratulations, ladies, very well deserved.
Thanks, Caroline. What an honour to receive this award on the team's behalf. Firstly, I'd like to thank the Blues Committee for awarding us with it, especially as there's so many teams throughout Queen's achieving great things. A massive thank you must go to Hannah, Drew and Simon, as without their dedication we wouldn't be where we are today. This is definitely the cherry on top of the cake after another successful season, and all the girls are immensely proud to have been awarded this. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. It's my pleasure to introduce the second award this evening, which is the Deep River Rock Coach of the Year Award. We are very lucky at Queen's to have some of the best coaches in the business, working with clubs, teams and students to enhance performance and overall well-being at all levels. And we have 3 tremendous shortlisted nominees. Simon Bell, Hockey, Peter Thompson, Soccer and Derek Suffren, Rugby. And I'm pleased to announce our Coach of the Year for 2020 is Derek Suffren from Queen's Rugby Club. Well done, Derek. Take care everyone, and I hope to see you return to sport very soon. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks Kevin, absolutely delighted with the award. I'd like to thank Queen's Sport for presenting the award obviously again this year. Everyone in Queen's Rugby Club for all their efforts this year, which has been fantastic help. And obviously a coach is only as good as his players, so to Dizzy and the squad, thanks for all your efforts. And we look forward to get going next season for another big year as soon as we can. Thanks very much guys.
Well done to our first award winners. To the women's first 11 hockey squad, congratulations, you have made history. What an amazing year. And a word for the people who led you, to you Simon and Drew and Hannah, well done. And congratulations to our Coach of the Year, Derek Suffren. Well done Derek. I know it was a tough start to your season and you guys turned it around. To be chasing promotion in a really fierce All-Ireland League is superb. A couple of months back, Alec Clark was paying tribute to how you helped turn the team around. Not all of you will know this, but one thing all those 3 head coaches who are nominated have in common is they all have nicknames. I know Derek, you're known as Suffs. Peter, I know you're known as Tomo. And by the way, what a year, Tomo. To beat Linfield in the Irish Cup, that is like Hereford beating Newcastle in the FA Cup decades ago. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. That is a victory that will go down in history. It will be remembered for decades to come. And then of course Simon, what a year. Peerless as a hockey team this year. To go unbeaten for a whole season is incredible. You're a legend. Now I know that some of you are watching tonight, you're doing it, you're celebrating. I believe that the women's hockey team are having a Zoom party. Thanks for the invite. I think Carl Oakes is barbecuing, probably wearing that tuxedo that he wears every year. He's had it for years. And I heard that Liz McLaughlin is watching while she does an indoor spin class in her living room. Wherever you are and however you're watching, you are very welcome and thank you for taking part. And the sharp-eyed among you will have noticed that none of this is real. This is one of those virtual backgrounds I've created on Zoom. I'm actually self-isolating up in Belfast Cave Hill. Life's not too bad up there. I've got my records. I have some refreshments. Cheers, Derek. Well done to the women's hockey team. And probably like you, I've been doing an overload on Netflix. I finished The Last Dance, and last week I started to watch a new series called Forged in Fire. I thought it would be maybe some inspirational account of overcoming adversity to give me some inspiration for the times that are in it. It turns out it was about 4 Smithies using scrap metal to make swords. I kid you not. Anyway, on to the next 2 awards. First we have the Special Achievement Award, followed by the Individual Achievement Award. I'll see you after those.
Blues Awards from 1983. Searching everywhere for that. I suppose when I have you, I would like to take this opportunity to present an award tonight. Well done to all winners, all nominees, everybody that's contributed to Queen's Sport this year and beyond. This particular award is a special contribution to Queen's Sport. It acknowledges the fine work and dedication that many of our club members, volunteers, administrators and people just connected to the club through alumni or through just being part of the Queen's family here at Sport. This particular award, I would like to congratulate all nominees: Peter McCreesh from Queen's Handball, Mark Doyle from Queen's GA, and finally Simon Bell from Queen's Hockey. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner of the Deep River Rock Special Contribution to Queen's Sport Award goes to Simon Bell from Queen's Hockey. Well done, Simon. Congratulations. Fantastic achievement this year with Queen's Hockey. All the best for the future, and I'm sure we'll see each other very soon. Finally, I would just like to acknowledge all the achievement this year from everybody connected with Queen's Sport. Hope you have an enjoyable night and stay safe. And now, the search continues.
Thank you, Carl. Well, despite COVID-19, it's been another great year for sport at Queen's. I feel very honoured to receive this award in recognition of the ongoing development of hockey at the university. And I'm really pleased because it gives me an opportunity to formally thank all the students and staff that I've worked with over the last 13 years. I'd also like to thank Liz and Carl and all the staff at Queen's Sport. Without their ambition and belief in ongoing support, I suspect a lot of what we've achieved wouldn't have been possible. Hopefully before too long we'll be back in training and competition, but until then, please stay safe, and once more, thank you very much indeed.
Finally this evening we come to the Deep River Rock Award for Individual Sporting Achievement. This is an award that's always been important in the calendar and has been won by many sporting greats down the years. Recent winners include Philip Doyle and Sam McKeown from rowing and Jess Ross from golf. This year's nominees are from soccer, Ronan Young, from hockey, Aaron Getty, and from Gaelic football, Matthew Murnahan. And this year's winner is Ronan Young from soccer. Congratulations, Ronan.
It's an honour to receive the Sports Achievement Award for 2020. It's a shame we couldn't be in Whitla Hall to celebrate. It's always a great night. The World University Games was a great experience and one which I'm really grateful for. I just want to thank all the players and staff at Queen's and my family for providing the best platform possible to perform at my best all year round.
Well done, Simon and Ronan. Many congratulations. Simon, you are a legend, and your team reflects you as a person. It has tenacity, flair, it never ever quits, and everyone around Queen's Sport appreciates how much you've done for hockey over many years, and I'm proud to have you as a friend. And Ronan, you're a star. Keep knocking the free kicks in next year to keep Tomo happy. If you need an agent, you can let me know. It was lovely to see your mum in the film. I'm not sure where you were, Mr. Young, because I know you follow Queen's football everywhere. I know you'll both be very proud of Ronan, as we are at Queen's University. So as we move towards the conclusion of the event, I would like to mention a few other people. Thank you, Mr. Conor McCready from Coca-Cola, for all the ongoing support and interest you show in Queen's sport. I'm just sorry that we all can't get to meet in person at this year's event. Behind the scenes, there isn't much that Shay McAleer and Mike McGurn don't know about how to look after and develop the human body for athletic performance. And many of the academy athletes and elite athletes will have worked with Shay and Mike over the last year. So on their behalf, I'd like to say thanks to both of you. There are so many staff in Queen's sport. People like Jackie McQuaid, who works at the front desk in the PEC, and her warmth and friendliness is characteristic of the greeting you get, whether you're in the city centre gym or the Dub or the PEC itself. To thank you to all of those reception staff for all your help over the last year. There are many staff who keep the centres running, people like Big T, Big Tony, and we appreciate your professionalism and the marvellous resource that you maintain for all the users of Queen's sport. Thank you very, very much. And then there are those of you who work deep in the back office, people like Kate Russell. Thank you, Kate, and all your colleagues for keeping the engine running all the way through all of the events that happen from beginning to end of year. And sport is unrelenting, and Queen's sport never really sleeps. So thank you. Finally, this digital event has been engineered by two people in particular, Conor Caldwell and Aidan O'Rourke. I don't know how you've managed to do it, but very well done, and thank you for all your effort and attention to make the 2020 River Rock event happen. So now to finish off, we will hear from the head of sport, Liz McLaughlin, and just after Liz, I'm going to pop up to say goodbye. So it's with great pleasure that I now introduce the head of sport at Queen's University, Liz McLaughlin.
Hello, I am Liz McLaughlin, Head of Sport, and I hope you enjoyed our Blues 2020 awards. The awards with a difference this year, I guess, in what is the most strangest of times. And I am disappointed not to see you all in the Whittle Hall this year, but we could not let the year go without acknowledging the hard work and the achievement by so many people. So I hope you've enjoyed the last hour, and I would ask you to join me in congratulating our four winners this evening. So we have the women's hockey team, Derek Suffren, Ronan Young and Simon Bell. So a virtual round of applause for all of our winners this evening. Seeing what our clubs and athletes have been doing over the last year has been inspirational, and what they continue to do in this unprecedented time. As alluded to earlier, I believe sport and physical activity will occupy a more important, positive place than ever before in university life. We are currently mapping out what the new normal may look like and how are we going to deliver student sport going forward for all. So we're excited about that. We have already plans in place. And let's see what the future holds. But we are excited. It's a time of opportunity, and we have to grasp it with both hands. I also want to take a moment to congratulate all of you who are graduating from Queen's this year. I can only imagine it is not how, when you were dreaming about your final year, that this is what it was going to look like. So congratulations to all of you, and hopefully our paths will meet in the future. It's also important for me to take this opportunity to acknowledge the support and commitment from staff, from alumni, volunteers and coaches and many, many others. The students would not have had the same experience if you had not been involved and supported them where necessary. I would also like to thank maybe one member of Queen's Sports staff in particular, and that's Conor Caldwell. So for any of you who have been following our online programme or podcasts, Conor has been the driving force behind that, and he has excelled himself day in and day out over the last 10 weeks, providing us with his filming, editing and production skills, of which our 2020 Blues Awards is one. So thank you. And thank you to the Blues Committee and to our guest speaker this evening, Gary Keegan. So stay safe, everyone, and I hope to see you all in the not too distant future. Take care.
Thank you, Liz. Earlier in the event, Professor Greer reminded us that the vision of Queen's sport is undiminished, and he spoke of the importance of passion a theme that Gary Keegan amplified when he talked about your emotion as a driver. And for a few days now I've had the lyric of a Jackson Browne song in my head. And it goes like this. Keep a fire burning in your eye and pay attention to the open sky. You never know what will be coming down, but don't let the uncertainty turn you around. And to that I would add, there are prizes to be won, and there's work to be done. Let's all of us meet on that road in the months ahead. Thank you for watching.
Keep a fire burning in your eye. Pay attention to the open sky. You never know what will be coming down. I don't remember losing track of you. You were always dancing in and out of you. I must have thought you'd always be around. Always keeping things real by playing the clown. Now you know where to be found. I don't know what happens when people die. Can't seem to grasp it as hard as I try. It's like a song I can hear playing right in my ear that I can't sing. I can't help listening. I can't help feeling stupid standing round, crying as they ease you down. 'Cause I know that you'd rather we were dancing, dancing our sorrow away. Right on dancing. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. Just do the steps that you've been shown by everyone you've ever known, until the dance becomes your very own. No matter how close to yours another steps have grown.